Hi everyone, this is Nick. It's week 2 of Circuit Breaker. I hope you guys are well. We are doing good. All physical viewings have been stopped and all viewings are brought to online with virtual tours. So a lot of show flats are offering virtual tours right now. If you guys are interested, do let me know. I'll give you guys the link definitely. So right now, today we are going to discuss how is COVID-19 going to affect the housing markets in Singapore. Are prices going to tumble? Is this finally your opportunity to enter the market? So the short answer is that it really depends how long this COVID-19 issue will stretch out. If this happens beyond maybe 1 year, then yes, I think everybody will be affected. But in the short to middle term, we don't think that prices are going to tumble, and there are 4 main reasons why this is so. First reason, housing market in Singapore is actually greatly controlled by the Singapore government. Since 2013, a lot of cooling measures were in place with ABSD, TDSR and SSD. Namely, the last 2 policies are the lifesavers, I would say, if a crisis should happen. TDSR, what is TDSR? TDSR is the total debt servicing ratio. Currently, the loan to value ratio is 75%. What that means is that, for example, if you want to buy a 1 million property, you need to have 250,000 of down payment ready, both cash and CPF. If not, you will not be able to buy your 1 million property. It's just not possible. So because of that, someone who enters the transaction must have the holding power in the long run. If not, you will not even consider entering the transaction in the first place. SSD. SSD suggests that if you want to hold properties in a very short run, if you're a speculator, you just want to flip properties, you buy something, maybe 1-2 years you want to sell, make a profit and run, it's just not economically viable. For example, you buy a 1 million property and maybe 1 year's time, you think that you want to flip and you want to go away, you want to exit. You need to pay additional 12%, that is $120,000 to IRAS. Usually we don't foresee a 12% increase in prices in Singapore so fast within 1 year. So a lot of the property speculators are not homeowners since 2013. Yeah, so because of that, we don't foresee during crisis, if crises do happen, we don't foresee a lot of homeowners would faster sell properties because they need to run. Yeah. So the second reason why we don't think that prices will tumble would be, we look at the demand and supply, or rather the rate of increase in demand and rate of increase in supply of houses in Singapore. Demand would definitely be the population, and since the government announced in 2013 that they're going to do population white paper where we are aiming for 6.9 million population by year 2030, and we are on track for that. So since then, they have been introducing government land sales, a lot of en blocs have been ongoing. We also observe that household sizes are going smaller because people are having lesser kids. So because of that, we also realize that actually the rate of increase in demand for houses and rate of increase in supply matches. So fundamentally, the prices shouldn't change that much. Even if a crisis happens, it should rebound back in the long run. Third reason, property developers right now are not having a very attractive profit margins because of ABSD. If, for example, you want to buy a second, third property, if you don't plan your property portfolio that well in the first place, you need to pay additional ABSD. Your second property as a Singaporean is 12% already, and a lot of people do not have that kind of money to buy a second, third property, especially if you didn't plan in the first place. So because of that, developers need to make sure that they price their properties very well, so that if you need to pay ABSD, you still are able to afford that. So since profit margins are very low, right, even if developers want to give very attractive discounts, they are not able because it's just not sustainable to the business. That's why we don't foresee developers giving like very huge discount for property launches due to COVID-19. For the fourth reason would be, right now we are having extremely low interest rate environment, and recently Federal Reserve from the US actually just announced that they are going to do this thing called the unlimited quantitative easing. So what is QE? QE is a printing of money to introduce to the market so that it will bring the interest rates down. As it is, the interest rates is already about 1.3 to 1.8%. So even if you are not on the lookout for your next property, you should definitely consider refinancing your home loan if you're not within a lock-in period to have a lot of savings. So yes, these are the 4 main reasons why we don't think in the short to middle term, we don't think that prices are going to tumble due to COVID-19. But okay, let's analyze if this goes in the long run, what will happen to the housing market? So there will be two key phenomena that we will probably observe. First, we will observe maybe a lot of the foreign homeowners will exit the market. So these are people who own multiple properties, they just want to diversify their portfolio. Maybe Chinese buyers, Indonesian buyers who own properties in Singapore because they want to diversify, they want to hedge against a currency risk. So they buy properties in Singapore. And where do they buy? Usually, they will buy in core central region because that is the hub. That's the core, that's like the hotspot in Singapore. It's like if you want to buy a Thailand property, you go for Bangkok. So similarly, most of these foreign homeowners, they will buy like District 9, 10, 11, they will buy Orchard properties, and we would probably foresee all these high-end properties to be sold first, mainly because they were owned by foreigners. And why do they exit? Either their home country are not doing very well, they're really facing crisis and they need the money, or they are probably sitting on profits also and they just want to cash out. Maybe due to the currency difference, it makes sense for them to exit. The second key phenomenon we will see is that maybe Singaporeans who own multiple properties will also start selling their investment properties. Why is that? Also mainly because they are maybe sitting on good profits. Maybe they bought like 10, 20 years ago where the properties have already increased 50 to 100%. Then they were thinking, why take the risk of Covid-19, or rather, why take the risk of a financial crisis? They rather give a bit of discount, 5-10% of that profit margin, and then just sell and cash out. So we don't foresee homeowners who are staying in their own home to sell their own house and downsize, because really, you probably wouldn't be able to cash out that much as compared to property investors who own multiple properties and they sell like their second, third, fourth properties, things like that. So these are the two key phenomena where we observe that maybe investors will sell off their investment properties first before homeowners will even consider their own homes to sell. So yes, and also for HDB segment, we don't think there will be much changes for HDB segment because mostly people transact due to personal circumstances. Either like first timers, they want to get married, they need their first matrimonial homes, or someone who is very old already and their kids have all grown up, having their own house and need to downsize. So these are the usual circumstances where people transact properties, or that maybe you have too many children, you have a helper, your 4-room or 5-room HDB is just not big enough to house everybody. So usually HDB transactions not due to economic circumstances but of personal circumstances. So we don't foresee much changes for HDB transactions. So yes, we have come to the end of our discussion. I hope you guys enjoy this video as how much I enjoy researching all this data. I hope you guys stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, keep exercising, and keep being your master chef with all the different recipes. I'm like so in awe with everybody. Suddenly become a master chef in 1 week. And also, mental health is very important. I hope everybody, compromise with each other, with your family. It must be really difficult. Must be facing a lot of friction with your family members. If you have kids, I imagine it's going to be very difficult also working from home. So yes, have some love with everybody. Peace out.